I would say earlier on with Masters in Motion, there was almost like a little bit of a resistance where I was like, I don't want to get like pigeonholed into, I don't know, filmmaking educator guy. I was like, I just don't see that as what I want to do. Like, I want to be involved in the process of actually making films.
Hey everybody, this is Adam Forgione from Select Music, and I had the privilege of sitting down with Jon Connor from Masters in Motion, one of the co-founders. We really talked in depth about the experience of Masters in Motion, what it's like, whether you've been there or you've never been there before. It's probably one of the best filmmaker conferences in the world. Check it out.
Like, I sort of came to terms with like the importance of Masters in Motion just as a community, getting feedback from people, and then seeing people that come to the event going on and working together and just doing awesome shit. And it was like, okay, this is a bigger thing than what it initially was. We just sort of created it and it was like, I don't know if anyone's gonna show up or not. And then yeah, it just kind of, it snowballed over the years. It's definitely been a passion project.
Jon and I met about 10 years ago back at a conference called WEVA, which is old school wedding filmmaker, pre-social media. You actually had to go there in person. Anyway, it was a blast. I used to love going there and seeing all friends, but that's where I first met Jon, probably about 10 years ago, and we really hit it off. He was real, he was genuine, he was raw to the bone. There was something really special about him, and he really got to know and network and become friends with a lot of other filmmakers and vendors. And he created those connections and then built those networks up. And I know that that's a huge part of why Masters in Motion is so successful today. Let's pretend I'm a new filmmaker. Every day, more filmmakers pop up and they have no clue. And I'm positive they would be awestruck at this conference that's held, and I'm sure they would go. What is MIM? Tell me to a person who's never heard of this before.
So essentially what you're getting if you're coming to the event, you're going to get 100 people. We keep it at 100. We could make it a lot bigger if we wanted to, but this is like a very intimate experience. I think it's one of the things that sets us apart. A thing that we've heard a lot from people when the event's over and they go to leave, they're like, it feels like I'm leaving summer camp. It's not pretentious. It's very approachable, down to earth. And I think somebody tweeted this, and I didn't really particularly remember this happening, but I guess I was like sitting down by the front, and I finally got a chance to eat. So I'm like stuffing some pizza in my face, and then it's time for the next person to go up, and so I like walk up on stage wiping pizza grease off of my face, and I'm like, yeah, up next we got Wally Pfister, Academy Award winning cinematographer of The Dark Knight. He's all right, here he comes. So it's like that kind of thing. Like, you have these people that are like done amazing things in their career, and then I'm like the village idiot, just letting everybody know, like, it's okay. I'm acting like a jackass in front of these people. You don't have to be intimidated. We're all friends now.
So I had the opportunity to go to Masters Motion many years ago. I think it was like the second year. It was really awesome, so different from any other conference. But what I remembered the most was that there was this unbelievable in-person networking that I couldn't find anywhere else. And you're really hanging out with the same people you're learning with and the same people you're learning from. Just in person, nothing can compete with it.
I mean, all the education is unbelievable, but the real magic is like the after hours, hanging out and you know, doing whatever. There's one year, I believe it was Stephen Campbell, who is a DP that works on The Walking Dead, is sitting at a table. He's like in a booth. Two attendees are sitting there just like talking to him, having the time of their life, like, oh shit, this is awesome. So I come walking over and I'm like, hey guys, excuse me for 1 second. And they kind of turn and look at me and give me this look like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're talking to this dude right now. Like, no, don't like ruin this for us. And I just go, hey Steven, I just wanted to introduce you to Greg Middleton. He's one of the DPs on Game of Thrones. And they both turn back and look at me like, oh shit. Greg slides into the booth. I turn around and just walk away, and I turn back and I look at him, and now they're sitting in a booth with a DP from Game of Thrones and the DP of Walking Dead, and they're just like right in the middle of it, and they're like, holy shit, this is insane.
The venue that MIM takes place at is called the Alamo Drafthouse. It really is an incredible experience when you walk into this theater and how it's set up.
You want a Bloody Mary at 9:30 in the morning, no one is going to judge you. You get it. It comes right to your seat.
In the theater.
Yeah, it's right there. You're in a movie theater watching scenes from movies that you love with a person that actually worked on that movie, and you're just like, this is a pretty good Monday.
If you were to like break down the big picture summary of a day of the event, how many days of education, about how many, call them workshops or lectures, happen for each day? How is the basic summary of this breakdown?
We kick it off with like the welcome party. Last year, I'm sitting there, I'm talking to Wally Pfister at the opening party. No big deal, just dadding out, talking about being dads. We got the sound designer of There Will Be Blood, Punch Drunk Love. We got the production designer of Cinderella Man, Malcolm X. He's just hanging out over here, and you're just like, I mean, it's already like we just started like 15 minutes ago, and it's like, whoa, all right, let's buckle up. We're in for a ride. Then Monday, it's usually we'll have 4 people throughout the day. Then we all go hang out, and that's in the theater. We usually do like a 90-minute slot, and that's usually good because it gives them enough time to go through and cover a bunch of stuff, and then also still allows time for people to ask any questions that they have. So then Monday night we all go, we hang out again, and then that's where, you're hanging out with everyone, super cool networking, meeting other filmmakers that might even be in your own state or whatever. And then Tuesday, we switch it up a little bit and do our breakout sessions. And that's where, like for instance, last year as an example, Larry Fong is doing a lighting class. You get done with that, you go into another room, and we have Stephen Marioni, the Academy Award-winning editor. He's done The Revenant, Birdman. As an editor, he's probably like my hero of an editor.
What's he doing? He's in a room. What is he? He's got a rig set up, and
he's like, I can do a thing up on stage. He's like, but I think it would be more interesting if somebody like shot a film or something like that I haven't actually worked on. If I just sat down and did like a live editing thing and like walk people through like my process.
Oh, insane.
So I end up contacting a friend of mine that was like working on a feature. I send a hard drive to Steven. He drives from LA, just takes like a road trip, comes to Austin, sits down, does a 2-hour session with the first group, because we break everybody up into smaller groups, and then and then everybody rotates so nobody misses anything. And so he just sits there and he goes through a scene that he's never cut, never seen the footage, nothing, and just walks everybody through the process while he's cutting it. And then, we take a little break, the next group comes in, he's got a completely new scene, does the whole thing. And then the other one was the production designer, Wynn Thomas, he did Spike Lee's first movie that he ever did, They Do the Right Thing, he got Game, all these things. So then that's your third person that you're going in and talking to. And so we go out again that night, and then the final day, we're back in the Alamo Drafthouse. Baseline, you're getting at least 4 people the first day, 3 breakout sessions, 4 people the last day, and then a lot of times we're just like, haha, surprise, it's 5 people on this day. You just got more for no reason whatsoever. It's me and Christina, it's a mom and, well, now we have kids, yeah, it's literally a mom and pop. Literally a mom and pop organization.
Literally.
I think the event is going to live on the way that it has because it works very well. I think if we started trying to really profit off of it, I think it would diminish the value to the people attending it. And that's why people have hit us up since the first year and want it online. Us actually filming all the talks and then putting it online so that they can buy it. And for a bazillion different reasons, like we're not going to do that, we're never going to do it. But one of the main things is when somebody gets up on the stage and they know it's not being recorded to be distributed to the general public, they take the gloves off, and you know, they are just very, very real with everybody. And to me, it's like you can't put a price tag on that. You can't grab a drink with an online tutorial.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video podcast with Jon Connor from Masters in Motion. I hope you got to learn a lot more about Masters in Motion. In addition, please visit selectmusiclibrary.com. That is our music library. The music lineup is kick-ass. This is the best of instrumental and vocal-based, all different genres. We created this library because as editors, we were sick and tired of going to libraries and wasting hours and hours and sometimes days looking for music. And I said, I want to make something that's special and that can get editors in and out so they keep the momentum, so they can go back to what they really love to do. Anyway, hope you get a chance to visit, and I'll see you on the next one.